In Portia's room, after getting a right box, Bassanio and Portia smile cheerfully at each other. Simultaneously, Gratiano and Nerissa stepped forward to them.
Bassanio, I am very happy and sincerely congratulate you on your wedding. You have finally found your other half, which imposes of you a lifetime of joy and happiness. How good would it be if we all have our wedding on the same day, Nerissa?
Yeah, and it will be a wonderful day for all. I and Portia hope that you will love each other unconditionally for the rest of your life.
Certainly. Thank God for letting us find each other. So, let's cheers for our joy of today and the days after.
That's just what I would have said. I have finally found my lover.
For a moment, Bassanio suddenly felt a bit of anxiety in his heart. A postman knocked on the door and delivered a letter from Shylock. Nerissa went out and took the letter.
It's written to Mr. Bassanio. Sure, you should have a look.
Thank you, Nerissa. I reckon that Antonio will ask about my affair.
But contrary to what he thought, it was bad news from his best friend, Antonio. He held the letter in his hand, and its first words emerged.
Dear Bassanio, I'm sorry to have to tell you the bad news. My situation is quite complex now. I think that I'm nearly as dead as a doornail.
What's the matter, Bassanio? Your face is getting paler. What's wrong?
Oh, Portia, I'm not the rich merchant as you think. All the luxurious things you see in me were actually borrowed. And Antonio, he was a guarantor for a large loan, 3,000 ducats from Sherlock. But unfortunately, his ship was wrecked and all the valuable goods on it was lost. So there was no money to pay back his debt to Sherlock. He will have to give a part of his flesh to Shylock because he's overdue. What should I do now, Portia? I'm a terrible friend who spoiled his spotless reputation.
Calm down first, Bassanio. What's done is done. What you need to do is to go with Gratiano to Venice to help Antonio. I'm willing to pay more than 3,000 ducats to save him. He is a good friend of ours. But Bassanio, let's finish our wedding first, and then you can be on your way.
The church bell rang in the happiness of the couple, but it was still accompanied by anxiety in each person's eyes.
If you are ready to accept the commitments and responsibilities that I have stated before God, you join your hands and swear your love and live to one another. I, Bassanio, take you, Portia, to be my lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, for this day, for work, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, for as long as people shall live. I'm going to love her forever and a day. This is my solemn vow. I, Portia, take you, Bassanio, to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, for as long as we both shall live. This is my solemn vow.
After the marriage, Portia sent Bassanio and Gratiano packing. Sitting in her room, Portia immediately considered all the matters of the transaction between Antonio and Shylock. She then decided to write a letter to her cousin, Dr. Bellario, and seek his help.
Poor Antonio. He helped my husband a lot. But this matter was related to the Lord of Venice. I could hardly interfere. What should I do now? I must find a solution to help this kind man at all costs. Who can help me in such a tough situation like this? Oh, I remember Dr. Palario, my dear cousin. I can ask him for help. Hopefully, after reading this, he will help me. Antonio is now in the pickle.
Dr. Bellario received the letter. In the letter, she told all of Antonio's incidents to Dr. Bellario and sought his advice, and also expressed her desire to borrow some lawyer's clothes from him.
Dear Portia, here is what you will need to do in court, and accompanied with it is the lawyer's clothes that you have asked for. Wishing you a successful trial.
Portia was delighted when she received the letter and immediately called Narissa to her room.
Narissa, where are you?
Yes, I'm here, Mom.
You will go to Venice with me. We're going to disguise ourselves in this menswear, so people will not recognize our identities. How does it sound?
Right idea. I will live with you.
Portia said to the servants in her house that she would go away for a few days until her husband returned. Bassanio and Gratiano came to Venice, where the trial would take place. Shylock came in with a ferocious appearance to require justice from the judge.
Shylock, I have taken your agreement into consideration, but it seemed cruel and inhuman, so can Antonio do other things to make up for the loss from you?
Antonio has made a promise and signed a contract with me, so he has to fulfill his agreement, right?
Yes, I did promise, so don't worry, I will definitely keep my promise.
I know there's method in your madness.
I can pay you twice as much as Antonio borrowed, with the only requirement that you must cancel this inhumane agreement.
Never, because what I need right now is not that money. I need a pound of Antonio's flesh. That bastard has ruined my business, so that the price he had to pay for, take a knife for a knife, for me and his creditor. I want wretchedly Bertrand Inch.
I know, take an eye for an eye, but
It's a real waste of time. You must choose now. Will you comply with this agreement or refuse the loss of Venice?
Shylock's eyes were filled with the flames of hatred. The bitter envy had corroded his heart. How will the judge decide? Will Shylock get a pound of Antonio's flesh? The answers are in the next development of the play The Merchant of Venice.
Select đoạn khóa thân. Was lost. So there was no one in the way back. No one left. And his credit. Tụi bay đứng gì vậy? Dù đọc.
Rồi đi qua ghế hả?
Xong cái tới. Ê, vậy là ghế là sao?